We welcome 157-pound finalist Isaiah Martinez of Illinois. First off, Isaiah, we'll start with an opening statement from you talking about your match tonight.
It was a really tough one. Stylistically, James Green is definitely my toughest matchup out of anyone in the bracket. That's why I had trouble scoring on him. He's the only guy all year that I haven't been able to take down. So, but the great thing about that is, it comes down to toughness and, top and bottom wrestling, where, I was more solid than he was, and I was able to come away with the win in the end.
We'll open it up for questions.
Okay, Isaiah, Mike for win. As you know, there's been a lot of hype around you, even just being a freshman. Some people call you the strongest guy pound for pound, stuff like that. Do you ever get caught up in the hype?
No, not really. Just recently, my coaches are always preaching to me like, I could be beating guys by 15, 20 points, high-level guys, guys like James Green and Ness. Until recently, I just barely started believing in, how good they think I am, and I started believing in myself in that way. And, it's paid a lot in the postseason. But as far as hype, it's just talk. Being around wrestling all my life, you hear talk, message boards, experts. It doesn't really matter. It stops getting to you, and eventually, you just gotta be mature enough to ignore it.
Isaiah, you like to win matches where you're scoring, and in this match you won on a riding time point. You've talked a little bit about being excellent in all positions, but which positions were the key to beating a guy as explosive as James Green?
I think it was just staying solid on my feet. Every time I took a shot, it was right up, not staying on my knees, because he is one of the best reshots in the game. So just being solid on my feet, making him work hard, what I did in the first period. I could have did a better job later in the match, taking more shots, and just being just stubborn on top, just not letting him go. I got all the way to a 4 count on the leg, and I just jumped up and tackled him because I just didn't want to give up the escape.
What is it about the pipeline from California to Champaign, Illinois? And could you also talk about the sort of the bittersweet career that Jesse Delgado has had?
I wouldn't say we have a pipeline. I think our coaches just look for guys who have a lot of confidence in themselves and guys who they believe could be, the next superstars. And California is a great high school wrestling state. I loved it. I loved going to the state tournament when I was younger. So I honestly don't think it's really a pipeline. It's just what my coaches see in the wrestlers out there, I believe. And as far as Jesse, man, he's been a guy that I've looked up to. A guy that I once competed against. He's one of my best friends. In Champaign, and to see, it is hard to see because he cares so much about wrestling. This guy's an unbelievable competitor, and he's a mind in wrestling that I've never seen before. And I really admire a guy like that. And it's not going to be the end of the world for him. He'll be back. He's get healthy, and there's bigger and better things for Jesse Delgado in the future.
Do you have any history with Real Budo, and what do you foresee in the finals against that specific opponent?
About 2 years ago, he beat me in the junior field freestyle semifinals. It was a real good match. I was a completely different guy at the time. So going into Saturday, I'm really excited. Just more than just being a freshman making the national finals. I look for those those dog fights. That's what I love. If a guy thinks he's my equal and he steps across me, takes shots and goes toe to toe with me, which I think he will. I feel confident that I'm going to come out on top. It might be a high scoring affair, but I feel confident that I can dominate a guy who wrestles like that.
In a match like the one you just had, that's so close, how aware are you of the riding time, and how much does it change your mentality there in that final period?
I think just being aware as a wrestler in general is a big added to my game. It makes me look like a veteran when I'm out there. Not making freshman mistakes, and it did change my mentality a little bit. Because like I said, James Green has a great reshot, and maybe I let it get to me a little bit because I knew I had riding time clinched up, and all I had to do was stay solid. I would love to win by 10 points against the best wrestlers in the country, but sometimes it's about winning and advancing and moving on.
Any further questions? Thank you, Isaiah, and congratulations.